Hello everyone, my name is Ivo and welcome to Cooking with the Koyas. Today I'd like to share with you how to make homemade wine vinegar, but not just any wine vinegar, an absolute delicious homemade wine vinegar. Let's get started right now. So you could use homemade wine to make homemade wine vinegar, or you could use store-bought wine. I'll share with you both techniques. So we're going to start off with a 750 milliliter bottle of wine, and we're going to put it into a wide mouth container. And you want that wide mouth because you want the air circulation. You don't want a tight necked bottle or container. Okay, now the next thing we have to do is dilute our wine. So we want to get that wine down to a level of between 7 and 10%. And this is going to, the reason for the dilution is we need the bacteria to be able to do its thing to create our fantastic vinegar. And a 13% or 12, 13, 14% alcohol wine is far too strong. We need to water it down. So, as a general rule, just over a quarter cup, 250 milliliters. So this was 750 mil, this is 250 mil. Water down our wine. Step number one, very, very important. Now, and I used distilled water. You want to use distilled water, or if you don't have distilled water, at least a filtered, unchlorinated water. Okay, first step, very simple. So, here's the difference now between a homemade wine that you're using with no sulfites or a store wine with sulfites. If this was a store wine with sulfites, this is what you do. Put a cloth, a kitchen cloth or a paper towel over it with an elastic, let it breathe, and you're going to have to stir it once or twice a day for 2 days. We need those sulfites to come out and dissipate. So it's going to take at least 48 hours to do that. So if you're using store wine with sulfites, in your container, mix with water, stir it 2 times a day. After 2 days, then you can continue with the process. I'm using unsulfited wine, my homemade, so I don't need to do that. I can start the next step right now. And that's the only difference between using homemade wine or wine with sulfites. All right, so now that we've got that underway, the next very important ingredient is apple cider vinegar. Unfiltered, unpasteurized. This one also has mother in it. Absolutely perfect to add to our wine to get our wine vinegar going. So this is easy to find. You can get it online. This was a Costco find for me. I'm sure your local grocery store will have it, but that's what you want. You want to look for unfiltered, unpasteurized, and if you can find one with the mother, even better. And this, of course, is even organic, even better. What more can we ask for? Okay, so similar to our water, you're going to want to add 250 milliliters, which is just over 1 cup of this beautiful, unpasteurized, unfiltered apple cider vinegar. There we have it. That is absolutely beautiful. It's time to give it a stir. Now, do not use metal spoons. There could be a reaction with the vinegar. We don't want to take any chances at all at ruining our beautiful vinegar. So, wooden spoon, spatula, silicone spatula, plastic spoon, these are all fine. So I'll just go with the spatula and just give it a stir. Okay, stir it up. Now, quite simply, put a cloth over it or a paper towel with an elastic. That's going to keep any fruit flies out, keep any dust out. And then this, quite simply, put it in your kitchen cupboard somewhere warm. You want it to be warm, room temperature warm. So we're going to keep it, around 70, 65, 70, 75 degrees, anywhere in that range. Keep it in your kitchen cupboard, nice dark place. Once a day, for the first 2 or 3 days only, give it a stir. And what you're doing there is you're aerating it and you're getting oxygen in with the with the wine and wine vinegar, and that's important. So basically, you're going to give it a stir once or twice a day for the first 2 or 3 days. And then all you need after that is patience. Just let it sit in your kitchen cupboard. You don't have to do anything else from that point on except let it sit in your cupboard, warm, dark place for up to 3 months. After 3 months, you're good to go and you'll have yourself a fantastic homemade red wine vinegar. And in fact, fast forward 3 months, this I made 3 months ago. So we can't have an episode without the taste test. And after your 3 months, you can put it in a gallon container, you can put it in wine bottles, you can put it in any container you want, just seal it off and you'll have fantastic wine vinegar. In fact, wow, that's dynamite. I've got a nice strong vinegar. There is 0 alcohol taste because what happens is the alcohol gets converted and it gets eaten up by the bacteria. So even though we might have started off with, let's say, a 13% bottle of wine, we diluted it to say 7 or 8%, but then the bacteria go to work and they eat away at that alcohol. And what we're left with is a vinegar with less than 1%, if not 0% of alcohol. So you've left with an absolute, beautiful, delicious, and I'm going to say right now, premium wine vinegar. Dynamite. Make your own premium homemade wine vinegar. Could be red, could be white, doesn't matter. Process is the same and the results are fantastic. You're going to love it. It's a great hobby, very rewarding, and it's fun to do. I hope you give it a try. Thanks for joining me on today's episode of Cooking with the Koyas. And as always, folks, until next time, buon appetito. Dynamite.